Hello, this is Elaine with Spirit Whisperings, and I'm here to talk to you today about making a Reclaim Who I Am Sacred Stone grid. It's a very powerful grid. I mean, some of ours, they're all good, but this is a particularly really strong and powerful one. And if I can open up the box. Okay, here we go. These are the boxes that sometimes we have our grids come in. There's a number of different ways you can get the parts to make this box. But this is under our boxed gifts you'll find on our website. And that's one way to buy it. It has everything that you're going to need. So let's take everything apart. And in it you're going to find the shells and the rocks. Everything that you're going to need to create the grid. An extra little bag that you can put all the rocks in to store it when it's not in use. It comes with the spirit board and the layout card. And this is an 8-inch 8 red oak spirit board, which is a really kind of a nice energy to it. And it comes with the layout card, which some of you may know of as our recipe cards. You may have seen these in the rock shops or metaphysical stores near you, or you may have purchased one from online from us too. You can certainly do it either way. And on the back of it, it's just like a recipe card. On the front, it shows you a picture of what you're going to be making. Talks about an activation affirmation. On the back it tells you the different stones you're going to use, and it has a grid layout illustration that tells you what number what goes on. So it's really, you know, if you're a very beginner with sacred stone grids, I really recommend that you follow this exactly, kind of like a beginning cook would follow a recipe, just exactly to get the hang of it, because this is a pretty powerful one. After you've been making grids for a while, you're more familiar with them, you can kind of interchange some of the stones, or if you can't find one of the stones that you need to use, you can use something else is similar, or something that really is more suited to what you really need. But at the beginning, if you're a beginner, I suggest you really follow this one exactly. It's a very powerful soul retrieval and a very powerful meditation tool that you can use to kind of, so for some of those times, we're just all kind of lost ourselves for whatever reason, and we need to kind of come back to ourselves, or we need to shed some things that we've kind of collected, and we just need to really become true to ourselves again. And this is a really good grid for doing that. And then I'll explain why here in a little bit. But again, if we follow our, thing, what we're doing, we're going to see that in the middle, we have a sundial shell. These are really cool. You've noticed that there's like a pathway that kind of comes. You could just imagine yourself on this pathway, kind of just going around and coming up to the top of the mountain. And then on the inside, it's a little bit just about the opposite. It's another pathway that just follows down, and it almost looks like a little stairway that just goes all the way down into the middle. And so, and when you hold one of these shells in your hands, the energy is just amazing. It has an energy that kind of it goes up to the sky, and it goes down to the earth, and it just brings you to the center. So it's just really good. It's almost like it takes the distractions away, everything that's in the way and getting in the way of having well, I guess anything that gets in the way of letting you come to your center and really figure out what it is you need to know about yourself, or what you need to let go of. And it just helps you just shed all that away and just really concentrate on the very core. It's the best way to describe it. You just have to kind of feel the energy to know what that's like. And I'm going to go ahead and skip. I'm not going to necessarily go in order that they have there, but I'm going to come down to the black terebra. And these shells are, because these are kind of like the powerhouse of this particular grid. And these shells are like little space capsules, you could almost imagine yourself just sticking your feet in there and just laying in there and just allowing it to just shoot through space and just go out into the world and find everything that you need to learn about yourself. Sometimes I can meditate with these and really feel like I'm just out in the cosmos, just getting all the information I need to be getting. And then if we look on the front where the color pictures, or we follow the number on the back, we find out that it's sitting there on the supporting grid, and its whole job is to take the energy and just shoot us out into space. and to kind of learn what we can learn while we're out there. And this table's a little wobbly, so excuse me, as it things don't always stay. And sometimes the rounder stones or shells are a little bit more difficult to get them to stay where you want them to stay. I've talked about before, you can take a little bit of putty or something if you need to make it doesn't hurt the energy of your grid at all, as long as you get everything where they're supposed to be. So this really kind of sets the tone for this grid, and the fact that we're going out and we're researching what we need to see from the universe. We're also taking from the skies and from the earth, and we're centering ourselves, and we're being able to just really make a decision as to, and cut off things that are distracting, things that we don't really need, and so we can really concentrate on what's needed and what we need to know. So that's the real powerhouse of this. But let's see, to go ahead and let's finish up the minor grid, and we have some peridot, and it talks about, enhancing the health, harmony, healing. It kind of helps with rebirth, helps for renewal, and we're going to put that here. Again, we're just following the recipe, following the card, figuring out where we put everything, and just doing that. All right. So then if we go to the outside of the major grid, we have these wonderful celestite pebbles. I mean, you can get, like little rough chunks of celestite or do different things, but these little tumbled pellets I love. I just love the energy of them. They're very soft, powerful, and it connects you to the higher levels, for help and guidance. They're just a really, really nice energy. Okay, and then we've got some green calcite. And the green calcite is in this grid so that it resonates with your heart for healing and health. It allows you to open up and receive information and blessings. That's kind of what it is in this grid for. And so we have, I just love green calcite. I put it in a lot of different grids. And one more. And some Apache tears. It's really to kind of ground you for the inside of the earth, to dispel unwanted energies. It helps alleviate fears and offer protection for your journey, because this is a journey we're going to go on. For those of you that have not done a soul retrieval, it has to do with all the bits and pieces of yourself you leave out in the world. When there's been an argument or a disaster or something that's just not gone right. And we tend to just shut ourselves off, and it's real common, just leave little pieces of our soul, little pieces of our spirit out there where we can't find it anymore. And so a soul retrieval is all about going out into the ethers, or different ways, different religions, different practices, different spiritual beliefs have different ways of doing it. But the basic idea is just go find yourself, find the bits and pieces of yourself that you've lost, and bring them back into yourself so you can be whole again. And so this grid is such a good grid for being able to do that. And so the idea of it, again, is to have these energies that just go out, and we're going to the angels for help. We're looking for health. We're dispelling fears. We're going for renewal. We're doing all of those things with the elements of this grid. And well, here I am. Those of you that have heard me do this before, when the energy starts flowing, sometimes I have a hard time talking. So I'm going to keep working through it, and you just bear with me here. On the front of our layout card, you'll see that there's an activation affirmation. And for those of you who do not do Reiki or some other type of energy work where you beam, just know that you can. Everybody, you have the ability to beam energy from your head. You just accept it from the heavens or from wherever your belief system comes from, and you can beam energy out of your palms, and we can just beam energy into this. And the intent is we're activating this grid. and we're going to activate it so make it work. And some of you may actually pick this up through the video, the increase of energy when something is activated. And I'm just going to go ahead and read directly from this card, just because I'm showing you the way it is that we have it. And I'm activating this grid, and I search within and without, in all areas, to find the lost pieces of myself. I gather those pieces and reclaim who I am. Okay, and I felt that one just kind of shift and clunk into place. And so there we have an activated grid. And to use this, you would want to just leave it. You know, you'd want to set it up and activate it on your altar or on a table or someplace where it's kind of in where you're going to see it, and you're going to be able to, you know, keep track of it and make sure everything stays in place and the kids or the cats or whatever haven't disturbed it and made everything, because you want to make sure everything's on the places where they need to be. The best way to deactivate a grid is to move everything out of the way. So you want to make sure it stays and just leave it up for a few days. This is fairly powerful. So some people may not be able to take this for more than a day or two, and some people might be able to take it for a long time. But just having the energy of this around just sets that moment where you're going to be able to have a time to be able to work through things. And you may notice in your life that things come up. Some things it may just be really peachy keen and great because you've just been able to see things and let go of them and it's be done. And you know, as with any work, sometimes that work just comes and slaps you in the face and really makes you think about it and see it, and you just never saw it before, and it's just like, whoa, and it doesn't feel very comfortable and it's not very nice. But then when you have time to think it through and you realize, okay, because that's heavy, that's stuff that I really don't need, I can let go of that. And so the process, I don't know whether this process is going to be fun for you or it's going to be difficult for you, but I will tell you that it can be very powerful. And this grid can really help you come to yourself and to really know how to reclaim who you are. So thank you for listening.